All right, hi guys. It's been a little bit since you have been on contributing as much. Been dealing with a little bit of chronic pain issues, and since the draft ended, a little bit of a lull period, and with coronavirus. But some news kind of struck over the last few days regarding the Oakland Athletics and possibly, furloughing employees. So I just really wanted to take the opportunity to reach out to you guys and make sure let everything know I'm still here, still part of Zenny 62 Media. We'll start picking it back up, especially when sports comes back around. But as a devoted Oakland Athletics fan, very diehard, just like my Las Vegas Raiders. My mom grew me up on baseball. Baseball was my first love, probably over football. So big baseball fan. And, when this news struck, it really didn't sit well with me. During this difficult time, I understand, that ownership might be going through somewhat of a difficult time, but there's no way it's as difficult as the time as the average, everyday non 1%er, essentially. So it's just one of those things where it just looks bad. It looks bad for ball, and it honestly makes me a little embarrassed to be an A's fan. So here's an article from ESPN. Athletics to have furloughs, salary cuts. So basically, a furlough is like a temporary layoff. If I remember correctly, I believe you still get benefits and you still like technically employed by them, but you're not receiving. You're not getting paid. You might get your medical, your vision, this and that still going. Basically, it's a temporary layoff, and people need their money. Difficult times, their family in difficult times, and I'm sorry, these, in my opinion, I would just guess these people, these staff members are not as well off as one John Fisher or one Lewis Wolf, and I guess maybe some of my displeasure stems back to the fact of, the team's approach to trying to win. They're just kind of a cheap team, in my opinion, cheap-ish. They're not willing to invest in talent. They don't re-sign, their elite talent. Basically, the farm system for the Yankees has been the ongoing joke through my whole life, especially from when I can remember, late 90s on. And, in baseball, there is no salary cap. In all the other major sports, there's a salary cap. And what that means is there's a limit to what you can spend. In baseball, however, it's a free market. You can spend as much as you want. And, as the A's, okay, so you don't want to have the top payroll. But you know what? You could be average. You could keep some players. They have their ups and downs, and, they have their windows where, over the years where it looks like they could strike through, whether it was the big three or the Donaldson era or, this era now. If they were just to invest a little bit more, how much better off they could be. And, John Fisher is the leading owner, son of Gap Inc. I believe he bought it off of one Lewis Wolf, who's also part of the owner of the Earthquakes with John Fisher. And, Wolf is a big real estate developer in LA. I'm pretty sure I've heard, or, don't quote me here, but the A's organization is relatively rich compared to other owners in baseball. I believe they have maybe the top 5 net worth. So basically, being huge developers in LA, and, John Fisher, who's the majority owner, owns other, teams, and Scottsdale Celtics FC. It's just bad. You can spend a little bit of money and keep some players, maybe extend some windows, make your fan base feel like you are actually really trying to win. Because obviously they are trying to win, but they're not putting their money where their mouth is. And, that's frustrating, especially in this type of league. And, the MLB has made several changes to, try to increase spending for these teams, implemented, minimum spending laws and rules over the past couple of years, which is good. But really, getting back to the issue is the furloughs. You're going to furlough these people, put them in difficult times, essentially kind of turn your back on them. It's just bad. We'll not only be playing, just get furloughed. And then the other thing that really upsets me, where is it here? They're not going to pay their the A's have also informed minor league players on Tuesday that they will not continue paying them $400 a week at the end of the month. Listen, let me just give this to you. $400 a week isn't even minimum wage, essentially, folks. For the hours they're training, and I know they're not in there right now. These guys, are committing their lives to trying to, work their way up into the bigs, and you're going to cut them. They were already struggling to survive, most of them. $400 a week, you're cutting it. That's just bad. That's just bad for ball. And, I saw that there was, let's see, MLB prospect. Hard to go back. I'm gonna try to find it on the fly here. Maybe able to. Well, I got an alert. I think on Bleacher Report or something on my phone. I saw it, or just skimming. There was a minor league player. I don't know if he was part of the A's organization or not, but he said basically it'd be tough to go back to the Athletics if he was there, or if he is there. It would be tough, after them not paying them during this difficult time. Those guys, especially the minor leagues, need that money. They're barely surviving out there on $400 a week. It's just embarrassing. So, I just, a little short video, just wanted to get back to it, voice some of my displeasure with the A's and the furloughs. It's just embarrassing. There's been rumors of other teams and other organizations and other leagues, possibly doing this, and they, stepped back because of the public perception, which, I think is truly right. As I'm getting to, these teams will survive, these owners will survive. However, these, staff members, and especially the minor leaguers, they, difficult times, they need that money, and it's just bad. It's just a black eye on it. It's just not a good look. So, this, stemming from my personal perspective, a little stems back to the A's not, spending the average amount of money on payroll in a, free market, essentially, in the MLB, no salary cap, and them having a pretty, rich owners compared to the rest of the league, and just, being bottom five every time, not keeping that talented, fan, player base. And then now, furloughing employees and stop paying the minor leagues. It's just embarrassing. This is a diehard Oakland A's fan, and I'm just embarrassed. So let me know your thoughts and comments. Mason Riggs here. Glad of you guys that were able to watch. Take care and stay safe. God bless.